Hello everybody and welcome to my next installment in Platinum Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about, oh boy, Silent Hill 2 from the HD collection. Now, you may notice something straight out the gate. I have not actually platinumed this game yet, and this will probably be the only video I ever make reviewing a platinum that I haven't actually achieved. But there's a damn good reason for that, okay? And that reason essentially is, this is, without a shadow of a doubt, the hardest platinum I have ever attempted in my gaming career. And I have absolutely zero remorse in making that claim. This game is just not fucking around. So I literally only need one more trophy left, which is to acquire the green hyper spray. Oh, it doesn't sound that daunting. It's just an item that you pick up, right? If only it were that simple. Yeah, in order to unlock this item in the game, to allow yourself to be able to pick it up, you have to complete a 10-star ranking run in Silent Hill 2, and there's a lot of things that go into that. So honestly, the 10-star run is really all that matters to talk about on this trophy list. I'm not even going to cover really any specific trophy on this list here. All of this, all these, meaningless. Because there's only one fucking trophy here that matters, and that's this one. So, yeah. Now, in order to be able to even attempt the 10-star run, you have to clear a minimum of 5 playthroughs of this game first. So, you're going to be playing this game for quite a while. Now, it's not too bad because, much like most games like this, or that were made similarly or around the same time period, it's a very short game. It can be cleared within a couple hours. Like, it's, if you know the game inside and out, which you will by the time you complete that many playthroughs, like, I'd say by around nearing the end of your second run or during your third, you'll feel like you know everything that there is to know. And playthroughs just become very quick and snappy, which is nice. But, yeah, you have to do a minimum of 5 runs, and basically what you're spending, the time you're spending during those runs is to get each ending. And each of the endings has different requirements in order to get them. I'm not going to talk too much about that. If you want to actually attempt the platinum for yourself, then you'll have plenty of time to do all the research and look that stuff up yourself. But yes, the requirements for each ending are pretty specific, and you really want to make sure you don't fuck up the requirements and accidentally get the wrong ending, because that's the last thing you want to be doing, is playing a complete playthrough of this game and then having it have been for no reason if you ended up fucking something up. That's a no-no. You definitely don't want that to be happening. You want to make sure your runs are as optimal as possible and that you're saving the most time so that you don't want to blow your brains out. Because like I said, this game requires 5 playthroughs for you to even be able to attempt the 10-star run, and then an additional 6th playthrough in order to platinum. So you're going to be playing this game a lot, like I said. Now, once you have all the different endings, which, by the way, you need to have a separate saved clear data file for each ending. So every time you beat the game and get one of the endings you need, you have to keep each save file separate. You can't just keep saving over the same save file. You have to manually make different saves for each time you beat the game, getting each ending. And the game fucking checks. It knows this. You have to do it. It's a requirement. Otherwise, you can't even attempt the 10-star run. Having a clear data on each ending is part of how the game ranks you. Like, to get the 10 stars themselves, all the endings are required. So, actually, I think the only one that's not required is the UFO ending, but there's a trophy to get it, so if you're going for the platinum, you have to get the ending anyway, so. But yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the UFO ending's the only one that doesn't actually count towards the 10-star. But, yeah, so now once you have all your save clear datas and you've gotten all the endings and you're on your last one, in terms of being the most trophy optimal, you would want to save the dog ending for the run that you attempt on your 10-star run. You will want to make sure that you get this ending last, because it actually ends the game prematurely, and it makes it so that you don't have to fight the last boss, which is insanely helpful when you're attempting the 10-star run. You want the run to be over as quick as possible. Why, you may ask? Well, the 10-star run, now I'm going to talk more about it, has some insane fucking requirements, some of the craziest requirements I've ever seen in a game, and it's definitely one of the most difficult things that a gamer can even do. So, how do we get the 10-star rating? Well, let's go down the list, shall we? We have to beat the game under 3 hours. You can only have saved twice. If you save any more than 2 times, you void the run. So you only have 2 saves that you can make. Like I said, you need a save file of all the different endings. That's also a requirement. You need to have picked up over 150 items in the game. So that's just like bullets, health, literally any sort of random item. You need to have picked up 150 or more. Plus, you have to pick up the 6 special items, which are the White Chrism, the Book of Lost Memories, the Obsidian Goblet, the Book of Crimson Ceremony, the Dog Key, and the Blue Gem. You need to have all these things in your inventory by the time you finish the game. So those count too. You gotta remember to pick those up. And each of these items becomes available once particular requirements have been met, aka getting all the different endings opens all these items up and allows you to be able to pick them up. Oh, forgot to mention, you also have to play the game on the hardest difficulty, and not just the in-game difficulty, but also the riddle difficulty has to be on hard, or extra. And to make all those matters worse, you also have to kill 75 enemies using melee weapons, and an additional 75 enemies using guns. So, yeah, you need 75 kills by fighting, and another 75 kills by shooting. That is one of the things that makes this run extremely tricky, because racking up those kills takes a long time. It's what takes up most of the time spent trying to stay under 3 hours clear time. And it sounds daunting. It kind of is, but it's definitely doable, and you can definitely still beat the game with an in-game time under 3 hours, even despite this. It is possible. But it requires a crap ton of in-game knowledge. You have to know the game very well inside and out, know exactly the best places where you can farm these enemy kills, and there's definitely a good method to it. So, there's that. Oh, forgot to mention, you also have to take less than 500 points of damage. Now, James's health bar, starting from full to 0 to dead, that's 100 points of damage. So your health bar consists of 100 HP. So if you go from full to near death 5 times, that's essentially meeting the limit of how much damage you are allowed to take during the run. And yes, that also makes the run incredibly stressful, because there are a lot of moments in this game where you take bullshit damage. And what I will say is, and this pissed me off so many fucking times during my run, you'll literally walk into a room and there will be an enemy literally within your personal space. Like, he will be standing right the fuck next to you, so close to you that he's literally touching you, and he could just fucking hit you straight out the gate. To make matters worse, the HD collection has an extremely infuriating, really annoying quirk about it, and that quirk is, whenever you come out of the menu, like the item menu where you equip your guns or use key items or stuff like that, or where you use health, whenever you back out of that menu, the game fades to black so you can't see anything, But the game is still playing, even when you cannot see. I cannot tell you how many times you are going to take bullshit hits because of that. And because I took so many hits, and it frustrated the fuck out of me, because it's just unnecessary damage. If the game didn't do that, those enemies wouldn't be hitting you. But it does, so they do. They get away with absolute, pure fucking bullshit. Unadulterated, uncensored, the rawest of raw bullshit. I'm not gonna lie, God, the scariest is what's to come, man. And there's also multiple rooms in this area where the second you enter the room, one of these guys is right in your fucking face. So there's like bullshit spawns, kind of like how there was in the hospital. I don't think there's any enemies along the way. I stand correctly. I'm gonna heal. My health actually wasn't that low. It put me to full just now. And I promise you, it will happen several times. So that's why it's another thing to have really good sense of game knowledge, to know where these enemies are, where these things happen, so that you're more prepared. Because, like, it's not just when you leave the inventory screen either, it's when you walk through a door. The screen does the same thing, fades to black, and the game starts playing before you can see anything. So as soon as you enter a room where an enemy's right next to you, you won't even see them, and you'll take a hit before you're even allowed to fight back. So it helps to know where they are ahead of time, so that as soon as you walk in the room, you can immediately start aiming, and when you do that, James auto-locks to enemies. So you know you'll be targeting him, and then just fucking start unloading on him to prevent taking damage. But yeah, it's complete bullshit, and yeah, so this run definitely requires a lot of research in order to attempt it and play it well and successfully. Lastly, there is one more requirement for getting the 10-star run, and it is, despite everything I just told you, this next thing I'm about to mention, if you can believe this, is the worst thing, the hardest, the thing that makes the run as fucking hard as it is, and one of the hardest things I have ever attempted in a video game. And that's completing the boat stage in less than 1 minute and 20 seconds. Now, you may be cocking your eyebrow at this point, being like, what the fuck? How is that the hardest thing? Well, I'll tell you why. The reason why it's so difficult is because the controls for the boat change when you're on the hardest difficulty in the game, which is required for the 10-star run. So you have to play with these ass fucking controls, these actual dog shit controls. And oh my god, just get ready, prepare yourself for a fucking mental breakdown, because I am in no way exaggerating just how bullshit this is. To put it into perspective for you, when I got to the boat segment in my run, which, yeah, I'm no pussy, I didn't quit for no reason. I attempted a 10-star run, and I completed the entire run. I'll tell you what happened next, but first I want to talk about the boat. Collectively, if you add up all the time that I spent practicing getting to the boat, practicing the boat, and trying to actually get a successful boat time in under 1 minute and 20 seconds, if you collect all that time that I spent attempting that, it's roughly 10 hours of gameplay. That's right, I spent literally, and I did the math, I added up the time that I spent on this. It took me 10 hours, and I still have not even once, successfully done it in under 1 minute and 20 seconds. You want to know what my closest time was? So I had one run, or one attempt, where I actually got to the end of the game and cleared it. And the reason why is because I thought I had it. I thought I had a good boat time. And I did. I absolutely did have a good boat time. Just not good enough. I got 1 minute and 21 seconds. Yep. I was 1 second over the requirement, and I literally was denied my platinum trophy by 1 fucking second. 1 singular second of my life that caused arguably the most pain and suffering that I've ever had. 1 second of my life cost me. That was, without a doubt, one of the most painful, agonizing realizations of my life. It was awful, and this is the very reason why I would look at any gamer who's even remotely considering attempting this platinum and immediately deter them and be like, nope, have some fucking self-respect, for the sake of your sanity, never, and I mean never, I wouldn't wish this upon my worst fucking enemy, do not attempt to platinum Silent Hill 2. That is my message to all you wonderful viewers. Do not try to platinum this game. If you want to, do so at your own risk. I've given you my warning. Don't say I didn't warn you. Yeah, 10-star run is the most bullshit thing I've ever attempted in the game. And it haunts me to this day. I honestly do not know if I will ever platinum this game. And I can honestly say I've never felt that way before. I've never put so much time and investment and effort into a game and trying to get good at it, only to still feel like I'm not good enough. Like, it's crazy. It is the most unreasonable thing a game developer has expected of the player. The fact that you have to do the boat section under 1 minute and 20 seconds is what really seals the deal for this run for me. It's by far the most unreasonable thing about the 10-star run. Doing the boat in under 1 minute and 20, you have to understand, the controls are so fucking horrible. I'll try my best to explain it for you. But basically what you have to do, let me get a controller so I can visually show you. So basically what you have to do with your controller, as soon as the boat segment starts, you're not even facing the way you need to go. So the first thing you need to do is turn the boat and line it up with the light. You'll see a light at the end of the lake. That's where you need to be. So what you want to do straight out of the gate is turn the boat as fast as you can. And to do that, you simply spin the left analog stick clockwise, I believe. I believe it was clockwise, if I remember correctly. So you spin it as fast as you can, and just hope to God that you line up the boat with the light. If you miss the light or overshoot it, you're wasting too much time, and you won't make it in under 1 minute and 20 seconds. So this initial turn has to be near, and I mean very near perfect. It doesn't have to be perfection, but if you do overshoot it or undershoot it, it has to be by a very small margin, like a negligible amount, so that, you know, when you get to the light, even if you're not dead center lined up with it, you'll still make it, because you'll be close enough to the dock where the game will just register that you've arrived. But yeah, it's a very small margin, and the game nearly expects perfection out of the player. Now, once you've successfully turned the boat, it's simply a matter of moving forward as fast as you possibly can. Now, to move the boat forward, let me see. Yeah, so you have to do the right stick counterclockwise and the left stick clockwise, and you have to do this in unison. They have to be full circles. You can't, like, stop halfway and then skip up and start another half circle, skip up and then start another half circle. They have to be full-on circles. And you have to do this as fast as you can, like as fast as you are humanly able to move your fingers in perfect unison. I'm not fucking around with you. If this sounds absurd to you, it's because it is. I'm not being ridiculous. The game is being ridiculous. And yes, the game actually expects you to be that fucking meticulous about it and perfect. And your rotations matter, the speed of your rotations matters, like, and your execution, above all else, matters. If you do any of these things incorrectly, you are slowing the boat down, losing time, and you will not make it under 1 minute and 20 seconds. This time requires you to be nearly flawless at the part. You have to do the part what the game's asking of you is to just pretty much be perfect. Be perfection. Do the boat part as best as it is humanly possible to do it. That's what the game is asking of you. Now, I may be exaggerating that a little bit because there are people who have done the 10-star run and said that, you know, they didn't do it perfect, or maybe, like, there's literally videos on YouTube of people doing the boat segment in under 1:20, and they will fuck up. For example, they'll go, like, maybe they'll overshoot on the initial turn at the beginning and go maybe a little bit too far right, and if they did that, they actually had time to course correct, turn back in line with the light, and still get there in under 1:20. Those people are fucking crazy. Like, they are absolutely so fucking impressive that they're able to do that, because I can't even make it under 1:20, let alone getting a perfect run. Oh, and to make matters worse, your second save point isn't even just before the boat. It's actually recommended that you make your second save just before the boss, prior to the boat. There's a boss you have to fight and beat just before you get on the boat. And this boss he can be incredibly annoying. His AI is pretty sporadic, and whether or not he allows you to have a good run or a bad run is, like, a little up in the air. You could have a terrible fucking fight with this guy if he decides to want to make your life a living hell and just be very unpredictable in what he does. And if that happens, you know, because this boss, you end up taking a lot of damage on him, like, unavoidably, so that's another reason why you really want to make sure you take as the least amount of damage as possible before you get to him, because you know that you're guaranteed going to be taking a lot of damage from this guy, like, unavoidably. And because he's so unpredictable and can be so annoying, that's why it's so highly recommended that you make your save just before him. So what this means is, with how incredibly difficult the boat segment is, every time you fuck it up and want to get back to the boat to make another attempt at it, you have to fight this motherfucker again, over and over and over. And it's what makes, like, just to add insult to injury, to salt the wound, the boat segment wasn't hard enough. It has to be done at the most asshole moment of the game. But yeah, this game has, like I said, the most ridiculous requirements to platinum that I've ever seen. In a game that I've ever played anyway. I'm sure there are platinums that are just as crazy as this out there, but for me personally, this one took the cake, and like I said, I have no idea if I will ever platinum this game. Hopefully one day I will, but if I can, I still have the save file, so I can try again whenever the hell I want, but yeah, maybe one day we'll load up my file, I can maybe get under 1:20 on the boat, nab this trophy, and earn myself what would easily be the rarest platinum I've ever owned. Yeah, maybe one day. We'll see. Who knows? It's pretty fucking up in the air. But yes, as I said, my recommendation to you all, don't even bother with this one. It is a headache that you do not want, and it is just a ton of stress. A ton of time and effort that could end up being completely for nothing. It's not a good investment. It is highly skill-based, and you have to be amazing in order to platinum this game. So, yeah, that's my hot take on that, but that's going to be it for this review. If you guys are mad enough to attempt the platinum, and you've heard me say all this, and you still decide for yourself that you want to go for it anyway, bam, there's my Path to Platinum video for Silent Hill 2, covering how to get any and every trophy in the game leading up to the platinum. Again, I'm making these videos for a game that I myself have not platinumed, but I know the game so inside and out that I could still make a guide for it and a review. Like, I could still talk about this stuff even though I haven't accomplished it. So if you need help with any trophies, any trophy requirements, if you want to hear me talk about each of these trophies more specifically, because all I talked about in this video was the 10-star run, so I talk about the trophies more in-depth in this video, so go check it out if you need some help. One last thing I will add, if you guys want to watch my pain and suffering in real time, I actually live streamed all the progress I ever made. Not only my blind playthrough of Silent Hill 2, but also my all my runs after that, leading up to my attempt at the 10-star run. I recorded it all the VODs are on my channel, so bam, go check those out. If you guys want to follow along with my experience and see how it went, towards the end of it, there's a lot of raging, because, yeah, the 10-star run just pissed me the fuck off. So, yeah, but it's there if you want to see my crack at it. And again, who knows, maybe someday I'll pick it up and try it again. We'll see in the future. But yeah, in case you're interested, you could go check that out. There's the link. I'll also have the link in the description. And lastly, if you guys enjoyed this video, which I truly hope you guys did, please don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course hit that notification bell to support me. I would really appreciate that. It would mean a lot. And hey, make sure to stay tuned on my channel to check out when I'm live streaming, because I do that every now and then, and I love to live stream, so it'd be really cool if you guys could show up sometime to support the stream. I would really appreciate it. The more the merrier. It's more fun with more people, but it's up to you. Anyways, with that, guys, that's going to be it for me. Take it easy, have a good one, and I will definitely see you in the next one.